Short seller Hindenburg Research has a new target, the company announcing a short position in the popular children's video game maker Roblox.
According to Hindenburg, are inflating some of those metrics to appease investors.
They allege inflated metrics. They question the platform's safety. They say it compromises child safety.
Last week, short seller Hindenburg Research disclosed its position in Roblox, claiming the kids' video game company is doctoring the numbers. But Hindenburg's even more disturbing accusation is that the platform is an X-rated pedophile hellscape.
It's literally, to me, one of the most dangerous places on the internet for kids, and it's advertised as one of the safest.
This has long been a criticism of the game, mostly played by people under age 17. Now, a suicide prevention campaign is using the Hindenburg report to call on UK regulators to up their game on protecting kids from harmful online content. Is the platform rampant with predators while at the same time lying about its success? Let's first look at the source. Hindenburg Research is a short seller that publishes reports on companies that it thinks are overvalued or have bad business practices. When you publish bad news, share prices tend to fall. And who benefits when that happens? Hindenburg. Like when Hindenburg called out electric trucking startup Nikola for using lies and deceptions to secure a partnership with General Motors. The allegations included pretending a truck prototype was powered and fully functional while deceptively showing it rolling down a hill. Put this under times, Hindenburg was right. Nikola's founder, Trevor Milton, was sentenced to 4 years in prison for deceiving investors who lost hundreds of thousands of dollars. On the day Hindenburg published its most recent report, Roblox stock opened down 9% from the previous close. The share price bounced back by the next day.
Hindenburg, who has had tremendous success and been right at least half a dozen times. And I am not suggesting that they're wrong. And I can just say Roblox is not a fraud.
Roblox doesn't fit into a normal video game bucket. It's not a one-time purchase like a AAA game, and it's not a subscription for playtime like World of Warcraft.
So they have a software platform. Think of it like iOS as a platform. And anybody can build a game for that platform. Michael Pachter, I'm a research analyst at Wedbush Securities, and I cover the broader media and entertainment space. So among my coverage is video games and movie streaming and some other interesting entertainment stuff.
Roblox launched back in 2006 as a new type of educational software platform. Kids could make their own games using provided assets and even learn to code.
And while you're on the platform, you can wander from game to game, you can play the games, you can customize your appearance, and you can interact with your friends, you can interact with brands, so you can go into the Nike portal or the Burberry portal, or you can play games.
Roblox exploded in popularity during the COVID-19 pandemic and went public in 2021. The company boasts 79.5 million daily active users, and it's available pretty much everywhere you play games, from consoles to mobile devices. Here's how they make money.
The developers who build games for the Roblox experience publish their games on that platform. Roblox helps the developer to promote the game. And while in the experience, there's stuff to spend money on. The currency in the game is called Robux. So like B-U-C-K-S, but it's B-U-X. You buy Robux to buy stuff in the games. You might, like, say, play the game Adopt Me. If you want a leash, you have to buy it, to take your pet out. Or if you need food to feed your pet, you'll buy it with Robux. The model for Roblox is we will allow you to put your game on the platform and we will allow you to monetize. And if people spend Robux in your game, you get your share of those dollars spent. We'll collect the dollars and we'll keep somewhere between 30 and 70% of the revenue generated goes to Roblox, depending on who drives traffic to the game.
And it's generated a lot of money. In 2023, Roblox reported $3.5 billion in bookings. And in the first 6 months of this year, they've grown 20%, on track for $4.2 billion this year. As we've said, more than half of Roblox users are under the age of 17. Kids under 13 account for 42% of the user base. That's why the child safety part of Hindenburg's report is so important. We're going to get there. But first, the numbers. Hindenburg claims Roblox is lying to investors, regulators, and advertisers about the number of people on its platform, inflating the key metric by 25 to 42+%. Not only that, they also say Roblox is lying about engagement. Roblox says the average player spends 2.4 hours on the platform each day. Hindenburg says engagement hours, another key metric, is inflated by an estimated 100+%. But Pachter says there's a big flaw in Hindenburg's calculations.
Roblox says 60 billion hours, 68 million DAUs, 2.4 hours a day. So Hindenburg goes, we're going to hire a technical consultant who's going to test this. 30 million accounts, God bless them, like valid. And they concluded that the gameplay is 22 minutes a day. And they tracked across all games. They did it right. And so they went, 22 minutes is not 2.4 hours. 2.4 hours is 144 minutes, right? Which is like 6+ times as much. And then footnote, we did not track time spent in other activities like customizing avatars or talking to friends. It's just idiotic. Like when you're in Roblox, the first thing that happens is your friends list loads and you see all the messages from your friends. And they're like, hey, we're playing this game, come over and play with us or whatever, right? It's idiotic not to measure that.
They also get into the weeds on what a daily active user truly is, claiming they're measuring people simply visiting the platform, which could include alt accounts and dreaded bots.
They never questioned bookings, which is cash revenue, cash receipts. They've never questioned that it was 2.8 billion, then 3.5 billion, and is tracking to 4.2 this year. So bookings are going up, cash is going up. They did question the number of users. And if we were to restate what Roblox reported last year, 3.5 billion from 68 million users, and used what Hindenburg says the right number is, then the average user, instead of generating $50 a year, generated 70. Do we care?
In its defense, Roblox pointed to the elephant in the room when it comes to the Hindenburg report. In a statement, the company said the financial claims made by Hindenburg are misleading. The authors are short sellers and have an agenda irrespective of the substance of Roblox's business model and results.
What matters to investors is revenue and cash flows and the revenue growth. And, whether or not you have as many users as you claim or 20% fewer is kind of, to me, a little bit of noise. I'm Edwin Dorsey. I'm author of the Bear Cave newsletter, a newsletter focused on exposing corporate misconduct. I have mixed feelings about the inflated metrics. I personally don't feel it's as big a deal as maybe some people in the market think. And I don't think it's as big of a deal for the business as the child safety.
Victim in this case, a 14-year-old girl found crying alone in the bathroom of a Kroger, allegedly picked up from her school in Ohio. Then
police say this man used a popular gaming app to track her down and start an inappropriate relationship.
A Clayton County man in custody accused of raping a child he met online. Police say Howard Graham traveled more than 800 miles to pick up the little girl. CBS 46's Mary Smith spoke to police about the disturbing allegations.
Hindenburg's report claims Roblox is compromising child safety in order to report growth to investors. Their research recounts 9 situations where predators were caught by police.
In my own article, I highlight 14 cases. Hindenburg found 9 in the US. So there's been a few dozen where you can just find from the media. And my strong belief is so much of this either is unreported in the media and it might be even unnoticed by the police. One reason I believe that is there's this vigilante group called Predator Poachers that effectively does sting operations to try to catch sex offenders and people engaged in these inappropriate conversations with children. And they've repeatedly found that Roblox is a preferred way for predators and sex offenders to try to meet kids.
The allegations of it being a playground for abusers of children are nothing new.
They are right. Unfortunately, they're right and they're late and they didn't say anything that hasn't been reported before.
In July of this year, Bloomberg published a lengthy feature with the headline, Roblox's Pedophile Problem. The piece detailed situations where prominent creators in the community used their influence to groom children.
The Bloomberg article is thoughtful, well-written, super well documented, so I used it as my source, and concludes that Roblox is spending of $878 million per year, 25% of their $3.5 billion in bookings last year, is generating 13,000 reported incidents in 2023. Now those numbers sound giant, right? 13,000 sexual predator incidents reported. Bad. most of those incidents, the predators who reported, didn't actually solicit sex or pornography from the kid. They tried to get the kid to go over to Discord or Snapchat because those aren't monitored as well. Do you know what the Instagram number in 22 was? Because I went to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children website and I found this. 35 million reports in 2022, 5 million photographs on Instagram that were child pornography, self-reported. So Instagram, 5 million, Roblox, 13,000. Like, it's crazy.
Roblox says they've spent nearly 2 decades making it one of the safest online environments for its users, mostly kids. One mitigation technique Roblox uses is not allowing images in the chat feed, but a simple Google search provides a lot of videos showing you how to make images into emojis that can then be used in the chat. Roblox may be spending big money to protect children on the platform, but when Bloomberg spoke with current and former employees, they detailed the gargantuan task of trying to moderate such a massive space.
It just seems repeatedly like if Roblox moderation takes a step, it's always the bare minimum step. So before banning a game, they might just blur out the title. Before banning an account posting inappropriate stuff, they'll just take down the inappropriate items. I think if you had like a stricter enforcement mechanism against bad accounts and bad actors, that would help.
Hindenburg detailed a number of its own concerns, writing, "As a test, we attempted to set up an account under the name Jeffrey Epstein, only to see the name was taken, along with 900 plus variations."
Do you know how many Jeffrey Epsteins I know? I know 3.
Along with the financial claims, Roblox rejected these safety claims in the Hindenburg report, saying Roblox takes any content or behavior on the platform that doesn't abide by its standards extremely seriously. And Roblox has a robust set of proactive and preventative safety measures designed to catch and prevent malicious or harmful activity on the platform. In a world of user-generated content, people will undoubtedly push past the boundary of what's acceptable in society or good sense. The Bear Cave has detailed inappropriate non-sexual content, including the reenactment of school shootings and the Holocaust. The Verge has also reported past reenactments of other mass shootings, and Wired reported on Nazi roleplays on Roblox. Dorsey thinks there are a lot of ways they can shore up these issues.
Unlike Instagram, Facebook, and all these other social networks, you don't need an email or phone number to sign up. You can just sign up with a username and password. If you get banned, they have no way of enforcing that ban because you can just make a new username and password. And I think the kind of big underlying issue here is you can't have it so 8-year-olds can chat freely with the rest of the internet. It's fun. It's cool if you're a young kid to be able to chat with all the strangers in the world. But as long as you have that is just like an insurmountable, to me, huge risk that is always going to pose issues. Roblox shouldn't allow you to even have an open chat if you're under 13. Kids can just claim they're over 14. So to me, you need to do some sort of age verification.
While the Hindenburg accusations are still subject to debate, the report is already being used by activists in the UK. The Molly Rose Foundation was formed by the parents of British teenager Molly Russell, who took her life after viewing harmful online content. The foundation's executive director says, "This report underscores the growing evidence that child safety shortcomings aren't a glitch, but rather a systemic failure in how online platforms are designed and run. The Online Safety Act remains the most effective route to keep children safe, but such preventable safety lapses will only be addressed if Ofcom delivers a step change in its ambition and determination to act." While the Online Safety Act passed in 2023, UK's Office of Communications, or Ofcom, is tasked with creating codes to guide that law. That's in the draft phase now. A spokesperson for Ofcom told The Guardian, "Platforms such as Roblox will be required to protect children from pornography and violence, take action to prevent grooming, remove child abuse images, and introduce robust age checks. We have set out clear recommended measures for how they can comply with these requirements in our draft codes." In a statement to Straight Arrow News, Roblox says they fully intend on complying with the act. A similar Kids Online Safety Act in the US passed the Senate this summer, but free speech advocates worry it does too much to restrict legal speech. It's a challenge the UK version also faced. Recently, the US and UK announced a joint working group to tackle child online safety. Aside from some immediate fluctuation, the Hindenburg report has yet to have a long-lasting impact on Roblox stock, which would be the goal for a short seller.
Look, in fairness to them, there's a case to be made that Roblox is overvalued. I don't think so, but there's a case to be made. I understand why someone would say it's trading at 40, it should be trading at 30. And so they thought if we expose them and people agree with us, then they'll think it's worth 30, it'll go to 30 and we'll make money on our short. We'll make $10. But they picked the wrong things to criticize it for.
Still, Dorsey believes there are systemic problems that could affect Roblox's bottom line in the future.
I think that cutting corners goes to every aspect of the business. So it's not just child safety, it's not just inflating user metrics, it is billing, it is buying items, it's the type of games you allow, it is the internal culture and how you treat people, it's suppressing criticism by suing your critics.
Meanwhile, Dorsey's The Bear Cave is flushing out some beef with Hindenburg. On Monday, he published a post saying they pretty much plagiarized his work without credit, using a lot of details he himself has presented since getting on Roblox's trail in February 2022.